normal people, this is Fei. Welcome back to the second part of Heartbreak Detectives. In this part, I will be sharing my melancholic breakup letter with Glenda and you, and we will talk about the one that got away. We decided this part is too good that it deserves its own episode, so hope you enjoy it. Okay, great. So I will start my second letter. Sorry, it's difficult to
Of course. Yes.
to see it again. And today
Yes.
I already sorry, I want this to be the last time. So yeah, basically this was my previous relationship. It was like 6 or 7 years. And we met each other when we were pretty young. We were like 21 and he was like 23, I think. And how it started was we were smoking together in front of the school. And later on, my friend, he texted me he wants to just go and drink beer because he gave up on the math exam.
Right.
So I said, yeah, sure, why not? And then I invited, I was so clumsy the whole night. And I almost thought he had a crush on my friend. I thought he was gay.
Right.
It was so funny. And then we went to play some video game at my place, and then we actually in the morning at like 5 a.m. I walked him to the tram station to go back to the hotel because he was only in my school for like the weekend for some
Yes.
business case
Wow.
contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that morning was so beautiful, like in May, early summer-ish, and then there's trees and it was sunny, and then there's birds chirping, yeah, and the breeze, and then we saw a little red squirrel, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I remember that red squirrel, weirdly. And then after a couple of hours, we woke up and he texted me if I wanted to meet up for breakfast. And only me. Then I thought, oh, okay, so he's not hitting on my friend. He's interested in me. Yeah, we went to the breakfast omelet at the cafe by the river. And then
lovely.
after a month, he came back to visit me in my city in Frankfurt. And we had our first kiss at the riverbank. It was really nice. And during COVID, we were living together in the countryside for almost 2 years. And I felt like we really grew into each other. So there's a part of him in me, and there's a part of me in him
Yeah,
too,
wow.
I'm sure. So funny thing is, from this relationship, I learned and grew a lot, right? So I now understand what is the healthy relationships I want with myself or with others. So now if I found myself trying to make some, I don't know, mistakes, going some shortcuts, or if I'm not getting treated right by people or by myself, I would imagine him shaking his head and be like, oh, Shufei, what are you doing? I disapprove.
Right.
So yeah, that is pretty funny. We broke up because we were both at low energy point in life, and with the distance and anxiety, and he's so burnt out at work. I was so anxious about my future, and it just felt like there's no hope. So it's a hard breakup. It's like losing your best friend and your family and someone that's like a part of your life, a part of you. And just the second day became a complete total stranger. Yeah, so that is really difficult. So I'll just read the letter.
Yes.
So, Dear John, as I was writing the birthday notes, I had to pick up my fountain pen again and clean them. I had to ditch my Lamy pen years ago as I left Belgium because it was blocked. The stationery shop owner grandpa in Halle also diagnosed it as hopeless end stage. But last night, I tore the bits of my pens apart and soaked them in the solution. Now they are all rinsed, good as new. Cans were invented in 1810, while can openers were only invented in year 1855. Sometimes remedies were arriving late, and they could be as simple as that. It took me a while to find myself again. Lately, I've been reading Swedish detective novels again, but it was too hard to carry on and finish the book. All the memories of Stockholm, cold, rainy nights, Kungsholmen, and the kids' garden next to the police headquarters. Södermalm and Bellmangaten, parks and streets. Christmas wreath and princess cake. Even the laundry room at 7 a.m. They filled my head like ocean water fills my lungs. I suffocate. Funny how you abandoned the ship and now I cannot read my favorite detective novels. How unfair. I'm never interested in playing the desperate ex-girlfriend role, so I tried my best to stay positive, stay decent. You cut me bone deep open, and I just smiled and wished you all the best and comforted the assailant. Genuinely wanted him to be happy. I swallowed all the words and breakdown moments. Lately, you were frequently in my dreams. Most of the time, just sitting there quietly. One time, I yelled at you with everything I wanted to say. Finally, and I felt free. After I came back from Shanghai, I was extremely looking forward to talking with you again. So many family stories I wanted to share, as well as my feelings and enlightenment. The thing I wanted to do the most was to let you know how much I am grateful for you. I appreciate how you, your family, and Besh made me who I am today. A normal, healthy, active, happy person who is able to love for whatever it's worth. But I guess it was too hard for you to have the time to care, so I guess we're even. Please don't come to my dreams again. But before that, I'd like to have one last dream of our whole story, like the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The dream starts in Frankfurt. Young guy and confused girl smoking with their friends in front of the school. Brunch omelette at a cafe, early June evening breeze at the riverbank. Warm, tight hug in freezing New England and Montreal snow. Smiles, tears, hugs, goodbyes, and hellos at the airports. You're sitting at your desk, looking out from the window to see me, your mom and sister working in the garden. Sometimes it's plants, sometimes it's chicken. You heard the sound of the moo-moos wave at me from the room as I was eating the first bucket of cherries of the year, an ordinary day in Belgium. Soon it's summer. We drive to seaside in our little golf car, just in time for strawberry tarts and fish a go-go. We watch the sunset and evening dusk as you kiss my forehead. Christmas time, we eat the bizarre animals and then have champagne and canapes while exchanging gifts and sitting on the couch. Cat is napping on your sister's laps, looking out the door. Lights are shining on the trees. Another summer, we camp at the backyard, light a fire, and have our own Korean barbecue. Everyone sits near the camping chain and grabs a hot cocoa. Celebrating birthdays, another winter. We moved to Sweden together. Cold, dark, wet. We rushed to find a place, but we managed. We got the perfect little place on one of the islands. Only the 7 a.m. laundry slot was a pain in the ass. We ran along the sea in the evening. You came to visit Vancouver for the first time. I tried snowboarding. I was so impressed by your skiing. You had to pull me up off the slumps with your pole and say snowboarding sucks. Ski is the best. Another winter, I came to visit London. I'm not used to the big city life anymore, and London intimidates me. Sorry, just trying
No,
to.
take your time. It's okay.
Luckily, I have you, your sister, and your parents were visiting too. You came and picked me up at the airport. We explored the city together, getting xiaolongbao, playing badminton, doing puffy yoga and hot pot. I shopped for pretty dresses and a nice necklace. We cozy in couch and watch TVs. Another autumn, we go to NYC with our family. I was sick and you go down on your knees with ring in your hand and a piece of paper written in marker. Will you be my wife? Like the first day, we have fights in the Central Park, but it was fine. We ended up holding hands and decided to walk down that path with that determination forever. I graduated in summer. You came and surprised me, which is my moment meeting my friends. And we go on a road trip in Banff with my parents. You sit in the passenger side and teach me how to drive. impatiently, but we managed, and you say you're proud of me. We then go back to Asia together. We traveled to all the places we saved before. In Japan, having delicate but nasty food in onsen hotels. Try diving, return to Shanghai. We get all the blessings and hongbos from the families. My grandpa still looks for Belgium on the map with a giant magnifier. My parents and uncle thanks you for taking care of me during the COVID years. You just say it's nothing and smile. Luckily, I did not get sick this time. We did our wedding in the small castle in Beijing, which was finally renovated. A small and nice ceremony with our families and close friends. I wore the purple glitter dress I got in Stockholm. I saw tears in your eyes, and then everyone else's. Mama told us to be 好好的. Now that we're a couple, we did honeymoon in Cali again, revisiting all the coastal towns. But this time I could drive too. We went back to Huntington Beach to have In-N-Out Burger. I remember the time you got sick and I piled all the blankets and buried you in them. You said, what about the time you got drunk and was holding onto the toilet? Moving to London, I managed to get a job at a startup. You're still busy as usual, but every Friday we go to the Italian bistro on the street and order pastas and slowly walk back afterwards. We get older, we have more promotions, we got a small flat closer to the city, and I decorate the place with all my passion, proudly sharing it to all of our families and friends. We hold small get-togethers. You were looking for wine opener and asked me, Shufei, why do we have 3 different openers? You're such a hamster. Good news is we finally have good washer-dryer combo. Then we upgrade to a house in Clapham. Babies come. Surprise, but planned. We get a cute little car. We drove a U-Haul to move. We argue about how to bring up the kids. What should be their first language? Ski or snowboarding? Private or public school? A cat or a dog? Your sister became the kid's best auntie and moves to London. They get into puberty and become little monsters. You told me not to worry as you were messy in puberty too. And now you're just fine. They got sick of having our love stories of a lifetime. They get even older, became adults. They left the house to travel the world. I became one of the bottom blonde Clapham Karens, going to my spin class with my poodle dog. And started golf with the other grandpas. I laugh and say, after all these years of grandpa mess and dad joke, you're finally at it. After having watched 3,000 sunsets with you, I hold your hands at the bed, looking at the gray hair and wrinkles that was once used. You said, sorry, Shifei, I'm afraid I have to go. And I could only cry and say no. The dream ended. I woke up, looking at the outside from the window, end of August sunlight in Vancouver, paper water stained somehow. An alternative life of a lifetime fades away. I am at a loss. Where did this all go wrong? When did it begin? Maybe it began the moment we stood against each other instead of with. Who defeated us? Maybe it's ourselves. And that might be why it hurts so much. The scrolls of memories lay in front of me. I see all the nodes and branches of time in life. What if we never left Beijing? What if we stayed in Södermalm? What if you got me the ring from the Stockholm department store? What if we got married in Canada? What if we moved to Montreal? What if I settled down in London? What if you didn't get a soul-sucking job? What if I trust myself more and worry less about my future? What if we just talk? All the branches become shining lines. They move rapidly across the different nodes, making new branches and knit new leaves. There is a kind of relationship in Chinese astrology called Yetai. It means one of the party of this relationship owes the other person a huge debt in the last life. So he is paying all the things for the other person in this life to pay back. All the debt and karma. When everything is paid for, it all shall end. And this relationship shall pass. Once I was a little brave soldier, and you were my faith. The lonely, dreadful, extremely long way from and to the airport. The stressful and empty city, the lonely room, I waited loyally like a puppy, happily anticipating you to come back home and kiss me. When my dark side is getting larger and eats me, my silent screaming and crying. When feeling so sick like a dog, still putting up on a cheer face for you and your family to have a happy holiday. Stuck at the airport, having no place to go to stay the night. Struggling with pressure, with fear of parents getting old and jobless and cut the allowance. Fear of not getting a job despite being smart. Fear of you not want to choose me firmly. I calculate the time and stay up to make calls with you. Fear of being too needy, too emotional. Fear of becoming a burden while you were in midnight. Thinking how terrible of a person I, little brave soldier Shufei, just wanted you to see her. I don't think you ever understand her determination. I was thinking to myself, even if one day we became like those fake power couples like in the movies who only look happy and stay for political reason, that is fine too as long as it's with you. If it's you I choose of all the things. I am a fiery Aries with attention span of a goldfish, professional quitter. The only thing I accomplished persisted for so long was loving you for 7 years. I guess I paid back all my debt to you after all. I remember your face as you were singing, "Next year I'll be 30." The silhouettes of the 30-year-old man face and the 23-year-old young boy face overlaps in front of me. I understand how much it is important to have everything sorted out when you're 30 for you. It kills me to think you will have a house, a car, a family, kids, and all with someone else. So I stop thinking and wait for this to pass one day. Maybe when I'm 80, none of this would matter anymore. Happy birthday. I wish you have a healthy body, a happy life, and a lot of love for the rest of your life. And don't worry about being 30 or 31, really. You will always be older. And please don't come to my dream anymore. I hope this letter reaches you, as I guess you might be moving soon. Part of me also hope it never reaches you. Just get silently lost over the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I was able to hold it all together. It just
No, don't be sorry. Thank you for sharing. It's beautiful. I, I think, you know, my first question is, how are you feeling right now? Kind of having read it all again.
I'm actually surprised at my talent.
It's beautiful writing. Like, I do want to like focus on the emotions for a second because, like that it can be very easy to forget what it felt like in the moment until you read everything and then suddenly you're back there, like exactly where you were
Exactly.
kind of thing when you wrote it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like
So
really surprised. I thought I was, because time heals, right? And I'm very much healed. But yeah, just, I don't understand what happened just when I read through it. I'm just triggered. I'm conditioned. I don't know. I just wanted to cry.
you're Pavlov's dog. Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
think,
I am.
yeah. That's what that's what happens. And that's how you know that the love you felt for someone was truly real kind of thing. When it still feels, if not the same, like, you still get flashes of it, like even so many years later. Yeah, wow. I feel like you captured so much of what it means to be in a relationship through the most, some of the most important years of your life, like when you're young and you're growing kind of thing. And then you meet someone who like, and I'm sure you now feel that regardless of the outcome, like, I mean, I'm kind of assuming that the whole question of would you do it all again kind of thing, even knowing how things ended out. Like, I'd like to think that you're the type of person who would kind of be like, as hard as it was, and, like, just the lines you mentioned. I don't know how to put it, but when you were reading, you're
Yeah.
doing the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and you're like putting out the whole story. Like there were moments where I really kind of lost track of what was real and what was like part of the dream. It really felt like there were moments where you've kind of lived it already in your head, and you can kind of tell, like you can really tell how much it meant to you, and the fact that like in your head it was it was like it had already happened, like you kind of lived the whole lifetime kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it's like that's what you were trying to express as well. This whole idea that when you commit to a person for and I haven't personally experienced a relationship that like as long as yours, but you know, when you stay for that long with somebody, like
Yeah,
it's not only like the past and the present, it's also like the future that's kind of like
exactly.
building as well. There's this whole idea of like there's this shared like vision of how things are going to go. And then, like, I'm sure I would have said this at the time when we first talked about your letter, but like part of the idea being that when you lose a relationship like that, you're not only losing like the past, like all of the memories, all of the
Exactly.
moments, all of the things, but you're also kind of losing this idea of your future, like how you thought it would go, like the things you'd envisioned, like being a part of it. Like the idea that, like, you know, your kids were going to look a certain way because they'd be with this person. And then it's kind of like the place that you'd live would look a certain way because it'd have these person's things in it. And it's like the idea that your Christmases and your New Year's and it's like like, you know, your Chinese New Year's and everything, they would also look a certain way because they'd be with this person's family kind of thing. Like there's this whole
Exactly.
idea that there's this shared like future built together.
Exactly.
And I I don't know. I don't even know what to say besides the fact that, like, it would have been so difficult to have to go through grieving that as well, and I think you're really strong, like, so strong for having, like, gone through all of that and, you know, like, being able to bear the load of all of that kind of thing, even as you walk forward kind of thing, like, even as you both walk forward and kind of, like, live your separate lives. Yeah, it's like
Thank you.
I do remember actually when we met in Shanghai, like, around a year ago, like, a year and a half,
Yeah.
and at that time, the breakup was more recent, you know? Like, I think that would have been in around 2020.
For
Yeah, 2024. And I actually remember this one, like, you know, this one story you told me about how you were taking your parents on a road trip around
yeah.
Vancouver. And originally, before you'd broken up, I think the idea was that you would both be taking your parents and you know, it would be that was doing all the driving. And I remember you telling me, like, about how you ended up having to, like, almost be just go into the deep end. Like, you know, you just had to, like, figure out how to drive, how to get across, and do it
Yeah.
all by yourself. And it was very difficult. And, like, it obviously wasn't how you pictured it happening at all. But like, I just remember kind of hearing you talk about what it felt like to kinda achieve your first,
Yeah.
like, you know, cross country kind of trip with you doing all of the driving. And I remember hearing like there was like sadness in like the way you were telling it, but there was also so much pride, you know? Like it's kind of
Yeah.
like I've done
For
this
sure.
thing finally. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Very
and
proud of myself.
yeah, yeah, I think you should be. And I don't know, like, I'd like to ask you what your kind of thoughts are on, like, reading the letter again kind of thing. But but yeah, and, you know, you don't have to go into it because, like, you know, it's very emotionally, like, taxing. We could always pick this up later as well. Like, I don't wanna kinda be like the podcast version of me right now. I kinda wanna just make sure you're okay. Yeah, because
No,
it's
no,
really
it's all good. Yeah, I think you summarized it really, really well, really nicely. Like, yeah, I guess like when we see the alternative timelines, the future
Mm,
we should have had, and then it becomes hard. But that's like the destiny talk, right? Is it part of destiny? Are we able to control it? Or
yeah.
if we
Yes.
made efforts, or are those all in vain? But yeah,
Yes.
interesting thing is, after this breakup, so like 3 years ago we had a breakup, and then I wanted to try surfing. I wanted to travel alone. I
Mhm.
wanted to drive.
Yes.
And I wanted to have an ear piercing, like, on the
Oh,
conch.
yes. Yeah.
And so I did the first one shortly after the breakup, and driving also shortly after the breakup with my parents
Right.
in Banff, in
Yes.
Alberta,
Yep. That's right.
and I managed. Surfing didn't turn out great. I just cannot surf. Like dancing, I cannot. The second one, traveling alone, I did it last year in Italy, in
Yeah.
France,
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
Europe.
Yes.
So that was nice. And I thought I almost forgot about the ear piercing thing on my wish list. But this year, like in April, 3 months ago, my friend got one. And I saw
Oh,
it. It looked super cool. I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
immediately like remembered how I want to do that. So almost exactly 3 years after the breakup, I did it. I did it in
Wow.
April.
That's amazing. Yeah. The other part about it, it's like this the thing that you said about how you picture him, that really struck me as well. Like, you still picture him in your head whenever you feel like you're taking, you know, you're taking a deal with someone else where you're being taken
Yeah,
advantage of, or you're, like, in a situation where someone's not respecting you the way that you deserve, and you kind of see him pop up into your head, and he shakes his head. And then it's like, it's really, like, beautiful to kind of think about the fact that where you are now is like this combination of all the things he taught you and all the things you experienced together. But then there's also like this part of you now that's like you alone kind of thing. And then like the life that you have experienced and the things that you've done. And it's like the ear piercing kind of thing that he never knew. Like, he never knew the version of you with your ears pierced, who tried surfing, who'd been in a band, who'd like solo traveled. But like, that this whole
that's true.
idea, like, that idea that sometimes we're just made up of like all of the people and experiences that we've come across in our lives before, kind of thing. Like we're just kind of like a combination of that. And like, I don't know, it like, I don't know that there's any other, like, it will never not be really sad to like have to, even me kind of like, I was really touched, like, hearing you read the letter, and it's like, it will never not be sad to like, it makes me sad that you had to go through that, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, there's this whole thing where it's like, if it's the people you care about in your life, you don't want them to have to go through pain. But there's also this, like, it's really cool to see who you're becoming now and who it's like,
Thank you.
like you've been becoming since. And it's like, like
Yeah,
with the tennis, and then like, and it's like the version of you maybe like 4 or 5 years ago wouldn't have predicted that you would have like taken up tennis with like a old tennis grandpa that also teaches you salsa kind of thing. And then like, also like, gotten a piercing, and also like, even just like the dating experiences, everything kind of thing. Everything that's kind of like added something new into your life. I've always thought that the most beautiful thing about your letter was it was the dream part. It was like how you go into like, it's almost like as you're writing out everything that you like had imagined happening, you're also like grieving it. But I also think there is like an opposite point where if you had stayed in the relationship, you wouldn't have you would have missed out as well, if that makes sense. Like,
exactly.
you would
I
have missed
wouldn't
out
be who
on
I
all of
am
the
today.
yes, and you wouldn't have met the new people that you have met. You wouldn't have, like, gotten the job that you would have gotten. Like, and it's like, you now have this alternate path with all of the like, you probably wouldn't have started this podcast kind of thing, Like, there's
Exactly,
all of
yeah.
these things that only through things happening the way they did, like, could you have gotten to where you are now.
Exactly.
And yeah, yeah,
That's
like
also what I wanted to, like, talk about. I think, like, when you were asking, like, if you could, go back and change things, then I think maybe right after the breakup, the first 1 or 2 years after the breakup, I would be like, yeah, yeah, I would, like, for sure wanna go back. I wanna, like, undo everything that I didn't
right,
do perfectly. I wanna change. I wanna, but more, like, later and later, I just feel like I'm who I am today. I changed a lot. Like, in a good way. I grew a lot as a
Mm,
person also after the breakup. And
yes.
even the breakup itself, right? The heartbreak itself really awakened me. Just like a wake up call, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Right.
you should get back, put yourself back together, all that kind of stuff. And then I picked up more hobbies. I became the product manager I want to be. I
Yes.
got a job. I was able to live on my own. I became product manager, and I do really good work. And I have good, caring friends. And I have so many side projects, so many sports I do now, and so many instrument. I joined a band.
Mm,
I performed once
mhm,
and quit.
mhm. Which is fine too.
Yeah, exactly. It's very cool experience. And I have like my own startup projects. I have this podcast now, and just everything. I really wish he's able to see me today. Like,
Mm,
I want to tell him I appreciate
mhm.
how he helped me grow, and I want to show him, and I want him to be proud of me.
I know that, I'm not like a mind reader or anything, but I'm sure he is. Like, I think that goes without saying. Like, I think especially when you've spent a lot of your early adult years kind of like growing together and wanting to see the other person, kind of thrive and become a better version of yourself. I don't think there's any parallel universe or like any alternate, ending in which he wouldn't be proud of who you are today, kind of thing. So yeah, I think
Thank you,
that's
thank you.
I think that's for certain. And like I think everybody around you as well. Like I know like I had so much admiration for your courage, like,
Oh,
and really admiring how much strength it takes to go through that. And it's kind of like when you do important things in life and then like when you decide to love someone as well, it's like a big risk. Like you're putting yourself out there. Like
yeah.
there's a chance that you lose it all as well. But then it's
Oh
kind
my
of
god,
like,
yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say,
mm,
did you watch Fleabag? The show
oh my
Fleabag,
god, no,
season
I
2?
need to finish it. I've only watched like half of it. I need to
Oh
finish
my
it.
god.
It's so
He
good. Yeah.
the what's it, the priest?
Yes. Yep. The
The
hot
priest
priest.
guy?
Yes.
He said love is tedious, it's hard, it's difficult.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
for the weak.
Yes. That's right. That's right. It's not for the weak. That's right.
Exactly.
It's also like, do you know Howl's Moving Castle? Like the Ghibli movie?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's a line in it which like Sophie says at the end where she's like, a heart's a heavy burden, which I really love because like, to be human and to love someone else, it's it's kind of like a foolish thing to do if you think about it. Like it's not
It is.
like logical. It's not like it's one of the only parts of our life in which we are like being run entirely by emotion. Like we don't get much like we don't have like a measurable like gain kind of thing. It's like we
And no
sacrifice a
SOP.
lot because of the yeah, there's no ROI, there's no return on investment. It's like we're doing a lot of things just purely because we love the other person kind of thing. Um
And we don't even have control over love because
that's
there's
right,
another
which is the
person.
craziest thing. Yeah, we like to think we do sometimes, I think, but we really don't. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that even though revisiting it is really hard, like I hope that it's also brought you some like I don't know. I hope it's also brought you some I'm like I don't know if peace is the right word, but it's like I hope you have a good night's sleep tonight. Is I think I want to say. Like, it's like all the emotional, like, yeah. And I don't know. Did you send this to him? I think you did, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I mailed it in letter, and I don't
Yes.
know if it ever arrived or if he ever
Right.
saw it. Yeah. But I will have good sleep tonight because yeah, like you said, I just realized, I would not change how the story went, even if I could, because
Yeah.
I grew a lot. I became an even more awesome person,
Yeah,
even more
that's right.
awesome version of me. So
Yes.
yeah, but okay, so I know we're short on time, so I'm just gonna do the closing part. Conclusion, I will always be a lover girl. It's difficult sometimes, but I think I will I will be a lover girl no matter how many times my heart get broken. I will try to find the thing, people with the thing, like you said.
Mm.
And maybe sometimes I'm a little bit nervous or hesitant, like even now, if I see cute guys that I don't know, I like talking to,
Mhm.
this idea would just cross my mind, like, would I stumble upon the same problems again?
Mm.
But then I've decided I wanna always be a lover girl. I'm awesome. If he cannot match my energy, I'll just go and find someone else who could. And if he thinks I talk too much and needs too much attention, then I'll just start a podcast, and I'm sure many more other people will be happy to listen to me talk and give me the
Mhm.
attention. But yeah, I just recently, like, there's some cute little stories that make me feel like I love love. So first of all is like hearing about your story, how you found your lost love. I don't know how to say, like, how you found someone who you really connected well back together.
Mhm.
So that was like really sweet, and I'll be like, oh. And then another story is one of our friends, and he got married last year. And then recently we saw him more often, him and his wife more often because like tennis. And then
Yes.
every time like we hung out and I saw the way they interact, it's like so sweet. He used to be like kind of nerdy and overly sensitive. But with the wife, he's like super happy and he appears to be much happier and even became much cooler, and he looks better because, there's a wife. And then we were asking them how they met. And then he told a story where he said, oh, I was like doing street photography with my camera
Mm.
and I saw her with her friends. And so I just asked her, she's so beautiful, can I take a photo of you? Then they added each other on Instagram.
That's
And
lovely. Yeah.
but I know, and maybe other friends also know, that must be bullshit because this never happens in Vancouver. So
Right,
the
right.
the story will probably be like family setup, But
Yeah.
but the thing that touched me was the wife. Like knowing, well, I'm 90% sure this story is fake, but the wife went along with him. You know, if it was me, I would be like, are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed
Ah,
of telling people we're like family set up? But the wife like really played along, and then like they kept this little secret together
how
and
cute.
they told us the story together. She loved him enough to like respect that and like
Yes.
help
Go
make
along with
this
it.
story. I was
Yes.
like, oh, that is so cute.
That's very cute.
Yeah, so yeah, also to who I don't know who will be listening to the podcast. I hope the two exes in today's episode are not gonna be listening. But yeah, I guess always believe in love. Like we talked
Mm.
about many heartbreaks in this episode, and we will be talking more about your heartbreaks in the next episode.
Mm.
But also do remember at the same time, there are so many cute love stories in the world too. And every heartbreak used to be a cute, lovable story at the
That's true.
beginning.
Yeah.
So do remember that and always be a lover girl.
That
So
was
that's the end.
beautiful.
Hi, normal people. Thanks for spending a little part of your day with us. Do you have any heartbreaks or love stories you'd like to share? Let us know. See you in the next one. Good night.